Good morning, parents and guardians. My name is Marissa DeLomo. I'll be your child's special education teacher for their 5th, 6th, and 7th grade year here in middle school. And I wanted to take some time to share just a helpful resource and a few websites that will be very helpful for you as you start to make your way through this IEP process. Now, one super helpful thing that you can see here is just this fun infographic that goes over IDEA, or the Individuals with Disability Act, which is what the school and myself as an educator uses to plan out your child's individual education program, or IEP. Now, that IEP is a long document and it can be overwhelming and hard to decipher. It contains a lot of important information for you as the parent and for your students for their success as they work through the schooling process. Now, that IEP has multiple components. Of that, we have the evaluation determination, the testing scores of your child, the strengths of your child when it comes to education and social skills. It will also contain their related services that they will receive. This can be speech therapy, occupational therapy, excused school testing, any accommodations or modifications that your child will have in the general education or special education setting, and their goals for this school year. Now, before your child can receive this IEP, they need to have been referred by a parent or an educator. So if you are the parent and you are trying to get your child to be evaluated, we have a very helpful resource. And it is called understood.org. And it is very helpful. They have a bunch of different kind of resources based on what you're looking for. One important one is the 6 steps to requesting a free school evaluation. So as the parent, you'd have to figure out where that request is sent to, write a formal letter, be very specific about why you're requesting that evaluation, give consent for your child to be evaluated, make sure that that letter arrives, and follow up. Now, if your school or a child's educator is the one who has requested that service, you as the parent will have to check off that it is okay for your child to be tested. You have the right to deny this to the school. If you do not want your child evaluated for IEP or special accommodations, that is your right. But remember that it can be very beneficial for your student. And even if they are not found to have a disability, we as educators can make a plan to get your child up to grade level. And they can only use this plan for a month, a few months. Once they get back on track, we kind of work with that student and what they need. Now, after that evaluation process has gone through, you'll have a formal IEP meeting. This will be with a team, including the social worker, special education teachers, general education teachers, typically a school admin, and then yourself as the parent or guardian as well. There are a few responsibilities of the state. The districts must provide free, appropriate public education to students with a disability. And this has to take place in the least restrictive learning environment. So that means if your child is able to learn in a general education setting with just a few modifications or addition of a pull-out or push-in, they will be in that general education setting to the maximum amount that is possible. Now, in 2018, 2019, 64% of children with disabilities were in that general education classroom for 80% or more of their day. So we are not trying to take your child and put them in completely replacement courses unless that is what they need to succeed. Now, as a parent, it is very important that you work closely with the IEP team and your student, and that's going to give them just consistent learning and improvement. So when parents are involved, a child's attitude towards school can improve, their social skills and behavior can improve, and they're more likely to take on challenging classes and succeed at them. Once your child is in high school, they'll have the option to join into those IEP meetings. It's very important that they're there and they're able to gain this information and self-advocation. Once they move on to college, this IEP will move into a 504, and they will have more responsibility of advocating with their professors about the modifications and the adaptations that they are required to have by law. Now, we want to make sure that this IEP process is working. And one way we do that is by progress monitoring. This is scientifically backed process of assessing your child's performance and evaluating the effectiveness of instruction. So for students with an IEP, this will happen every quarter in school, so that'll be 4 total. We also have an annual IEP review process. This happens every single year. The IEP team comes together. We talk with their education teachers, see what they're doing well, see what they still need to work on, which practices are working well for them, which aren't working that well for them. And we continue to kind of rework this plan to get your child to the success level that they are able to achieve. Now, there are many safeguards and resources put in place by IDEA that schools are required by law to follow. And understood.com is a really great resource to find all of that information. Now, one other resource that we have that is very, very useful, other than understood.org, is Parent Hub. Sorry, I can't get my thing to go up. Is Parent Hub. It is called the Center for Parent Information and Resources. And both of these websites kind of work the same way. You have a helpful search bar at the top. If you are wondering about the IEP, you just type that in and you have a bunch of different resources that will pop up depending on what you are looking for. So that could be developing your child's IEP. That could be about the different laws, and it's very helpful. As you can see, there are also Spanish versions of these articles. Myself, as a special education educator, I am a very key integral part to working with your child and their IEP. If at any point you have questions or you are confused, please feel free to reach out to me using my email or phone number that you have received at the beginning of the school year. And I can do anything that I can to answer those questions or point you to a resource or someone who can answer those. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. I look forward to meeting you at the IEP meeting.